Lower your lights, and listen carefully. Welcome to Dark Frame, where every story is carefully framed, and every truth is slightly distorted. Here, nothing is what it seems. Voices can't be trusted, memories lie, and the ending is never what you expect. So stay focused, watch closely, because once you enter Dark Frame, there's no turning back. Look in the mirror. What do you see? Do you see who you are? Or do you see who you pretend to be? Identity is a fragile thing, easy to break, easy to steal, and sometimes impossible to escape. Tonight, you will question everything you know about truth, about justice, and about yourself. Don't look away, don't trust your eyes, and remember, who is watching you?
The rain did not fall, it attacked. It hammered against the single high window of the interrogation room, a relentless rhythmic pounding that sounded like fingers trying to scratch their way in. Inside, the air was stale, recycled through vents that rattled with every thunderclap. Elias sat behind the metal table. He was a man carved out of fatigue and nicotine. His trench coat was damp, clinging to his shoulders like a second skin, and his eyes were heavy, rimmed with the red of insomnia. He lit a cigarette. The flame from the lighter flickered violently in the draft, casting long, dancing shadows against the concrete walls. Across from him, handcuffed to the chair, sat Kane. Kane was calm. Too calm. He wore a standard prisoner's jumpsuit, gray and coarse, but he sat with the posture of a king on a throne. He watched the smoke rise from Elias's lips, his eyes unblinking. "You know why you're here," Elias said. His voice was gravel, worn down by years of shouting over sirens. Kane tilted his head slightly. "Do I? Or do you?" Elias slammed the file shut. The sound cracked like a gunshot in the small room. Dust motes danced in the buzz of the fluorescent light overhead. "Don't play games. We found the tools in your basement. The chisels. The mirrors." "My basement?" Kane asked softly. "Or yours, Detective?" Elias leaned in, the shadow cutting his face in half. "I've been hunting the Reflector Killer for 3 years. He leaves mirrors at the scene. Forces the victims to look at themselves before he removes their eyes," Kane finished. "Yes. I know the MO. I read the files. You shouldn't have access to those. Neither should you. Unless you wrote them." Elias stood up, the chair scraping loudly against the floor. He began to pace. The room was a box, 4 walls and 1 door, designed to make men feel small. "Your prints are on the weapon." "Are they?" Kane asked. "Or are they our prints?" Elias stopped. He turned slowly, the cigarette burning down to his fingers. He dropped it and crushed it under his heel. "What did you say?" "Look at me, Elias. Really look." Elias looked. Really looked. Kane raised a hand, the metal cuffs rattling. He pointed to a small, white scar above his left eyebrow. Elias instinctively reached up and touched the same spot on his own face. He had the same scar. A jagged little mark from a bar fight 10 years ago. Or was it? Coincidence, Elias whispered, but the conviction was gone from his voice. "Is it?" Kane asked. "Check your pocket. Left side." Elias hesitated. He reached into the deep pocket of his trench coat. His fingers brushed against cold metal. He pulled it out. A police badge. He frowned, his brow furrowing as he looked at his belt. The leather holster there was empty. "You picked my pocket," Elias said, though it sounded like a question. "I'm handcuffed to the table, Elias. When did I do that?" Elias stared at the badge. Then he looked at Kane. They were identical. Same jawline, same tired eyes, same weathered skin. It was like looking into a mirror that had decided to walk out and sit in a chair. "Who are you?" Elias asked. "I'm the one who remembers what happened last night," Kane said. "Do you?" Behind the one-way glass, in the darkened observation room, Dr. Lena watched. She was a sharp woman, clinical in her movements. She took notes on a clipboard, the pen scratching softly against the paper. She picked up the phone on the desk and dialed a number. "Subject agitation is high," she said into the receiver. "Cognitive dissonance initiating. Proceed to phase 2. She hung up and turned back to the glass. Her expression was unreadable. Cold. Inside the interrogation room, the light flickered harder. A thunderclap shook the building. Elias was sweating now. He poured water from a pitcher, his hand shaking so badly the water splashed over the rim. "If you're not the killer, why were you at the scene?" Elias asked. "The warehouse." "I was trying to stop him," Kane said. "Who?" "The man who looks like us." Elias laughed. It was a dry, brittle sound. "There's no third man. It's you. It's always been you." Why do you think you're the detective, Elias? Because you have the gun? Because you have the coat? Kane leaned forward, the chains pulling tight. Memory is just a story we tell ourselves to sleep at night. What if I told you, you woke up 3 days ago in a motel? No ID. Just the coat. The gun. And a feeling that you needed to catch someone. Elias froze. I have a life. You have what? A wife? Kids? Show me a photo. Show me anything from before 3 days ago. Elias reached for his wallet. He flipped it open. It was empty. No photos. No ID. Just a stack of cash. I left them at home, Elias stammered. Where is home, Elias? Elias opened his mouth. He closed it. He didn't know. The panic began to rise in his chest, a cold tide swallowing his certainty. The door opened. Dr. Lena entered. She carried a medical bag. She ignored Elias completely and walked to Kane. She checked his pupils with a penlight. Pupil response is normal. Cortisol levels elevated, she said, more to herself than to them. Doctor? Elias stepped forward. Tell him I'm Detective Elias Vance. Badge number 492. Lena turned to Elias. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Badge 492 was retired 6 months ago. After the incident. What incident? The warehouse. Where you found the bodies. I found them. I didn't make them. Did you? Lena opened her bag and pulled out a tape recorder. She pressed play. A man's voice filled the room, gasping. The sound of chiseling on bone echoed through the speakers. Then, a voice spoke clearly. Look at yourself. This is who you are. The voice on the tape sounded exactly like Elias. Elias stepped back until his spine hit the concrete wall. That's edited. That's him. He pointed at Kane. Play the next track, Doctor, Kane said. Lena pressed play. Another voice. Come. He's ready. The swap is complete. Initiate the Hunter protocol. This voice sounded exactly like Kane. We found this in the wall of the safe house, Lena said. You're both lying. Or, you're both telling the truth. What does that mean? Elias asked. It means there are 2 of you, but only 1 killer. Lena walked to the one-way mirror and tapped the glass. You know about dissociative identity? I'm not split. I'm me. Are you? Kane asked. Or are you the part of me that wants to be good? Elias drew his gun. He pointed it at Kane. Shut up. If you shoot him, you shoot yourself, Lena said calmly. Biologically speaking. What? DNA test came back while you were arguing. 100% match. You aren't just similar. You're identical. Elias kept the gun on Kane. His hand was shaking violently. Twins. We're twins. I have a brother. Do you? Kane asked. Or did you invent a brother to explain the voices in your head? I can feel you. You're real. Then why don't I remember being the detective? I only remember the dark. The chisel. The art. You're the killer. And you're the hunter. But who made us that way? Elias looked at Lena. You knew. I'm here to evaluate which one of you is stable enough to be released, Lena said. Released? We can't keep both. The system can't handle 2 men with the same identity. One of you has to cease to exist. Kane smiled. So it's a competition. It's survival, Lena said. The atmosphere in the room shifted. The air felt thinner, harder to breathe. Elias looked at Kane. Kane looked at Elias. For the first time, they looked afraid. Not of each other, but of Lena. We swapped, Elias said. That night, I woke up in his clothes. He woke up in mine. So I'm the detective? Kane asked. No. I feel the guilt. Guilt doesn't make you innocent. It just makes you remember. Elias rubbed his temples. A headache split his skull, sharp and sudden. My head. It's burning. The integration is failing, Lena said. What integration? Lena walked closer. She was no longer afraid of the gun. You aren't twins, Elias. She paused. The rain stopped abruptly. Silence filled the room, heavy and suffocating. Twins share parents. You share a creator. Elias lowered the gun slightly. Creator? Project Janus. 2 vessels. 1 psyche. Split down the middle. The killer impulse and the moral compass. We're experiments? Kane asked. You're prototypes. The goal was to isolate criminal behavior to see if it could be surgically removed. We put the violence in him. She pointed to Kane. We put the law in him. She pointed to Elias. But we met. We fought. Because the separation wasn't clean. The violence leaked into the law. The law leaked into the violence. You became unstable. Lena opened her medical bag. She took out a syringe. The liquid inside glowed faintly blue. Time to merge you back. Merge? One body survives. The mind is reintegrated. The other is discarded. Elias raised the gun again. He pointed it at Lena. Step back. It doesn't matter who you shoot. If you kill me, the protocol locks. You both die. Kane looked at Elias. Don't listen to her. She's lying. Am I? Lena asked. Check your arm, Kane. The serial number. Kane looked at his inner wrist. He rolled up the jumpsuit sleeve. There was a barcode tattooed there. Elias rolled up his own sleeve. Same barcode. What are we? Elias whispered. You're what happens when humanity tries to cure evil. You are the cure. And the disease. Elias was breathing hard. He looked at Kane. They realized they were the same person. Literally. If we merge, who wins? Kane asked. The killer or the cop? The stronger will. That's why I brought you here. To fight it out. Lena placed the syringe on the table. One injection ends the other. You decide who takes it. Elias picked up the syringe. The liquid glowed faintly blue. Why are you doing this? Elias asked. Because I need to know if evil can be executed by law, or if law is just evil with a badge. Elias looked at Kane. Kane nodded. A silent agreement. Elias stepped toward Kane. Kane leaned his head back, exposing his neck. Do it, Kane said. Save the world from me. Elias hesitated. The gun was in his other hand. He looked at Lena. Lena smiled. Victorious. You want a result? Elias asked. I want data. Elias injected the syringe into his own neck. Lena's smile vanished. What are you doing? Elias's voice began to slur. If we're the same, killing him kills me. Killing me, frees him. Elias collapsed. The gun slid across the floor. Kane caught it. He stood. The handcuffs fell off, they were unlocked the whole time. He chose the moral outcome, Kane said to Lena. He sacrificed the cop to save the killer. No, Lena said. The serum kills the host. You both die. Did he? Or did he just kill the personality you programmed? Kane walked to the mirror. He looked at his reflection. He touched the glass. Elias was the construct. I'm the original. Kane entered the observation room. Lena followed. She looked angry. You ruined 3 years of work, she said. I finished it. Kane turned to Lena. He reached into his pocket. He pulled out a badge. It wasn't a police badge. It was a hospital ID. ID reads, Dr. Kane Vance, Chief of Psychiatry. Lena froze. Session 47 complete, Kane said. Subject Elias has been terminated. Sir? Lena asked, confused. You did well, Lena. Your performance was convincing. You almost made me believe I was the patient. I don't understand. There are no clones. No Project Janus. Kane gestured to the room. This is a therapy ward. Elias was a patient with dissociative identity disorder. He believed he was a detective hunting himself. But the barcode, the DNA, placebos, tattoos, scripted dialogue. You were playing the handler to break his delusion. Lena looked at her hands. They were shaking. Then, who are you? I'm his doctor. And I'm the man who has to clean up the mess. Kane walked to the window. He looked out at the rain. Elias is dead. The detective persona is gone. Now we just have to deal with the killer persona. Lena stepped back. Wait. If Elias was the patient, and you are the doctor, who was the suspect in the room? Kane turned around. His face changed. The calm doctor mask slipped. He smiled. A dark, jagged smile. There was no suspect, Lena. There was only me. And you. What? You're not my assistant. You're patient too. Lena backed away. No. That's a lie. Is it? Check your pocket. Lena reached into her coat. She pulled out a chisel. It was covered in dried blood. She dropped it. Horror washed over her. Look at yourself, Lena. This is who you are. Kane picked up the tape recorder. He pressed play. Lena's voice. Look at yourself. This is who you are. Session complete. Nurse, take patient 2 to isolation. 2 orderlies entered the room. They grabbed Lena. She screamed. I'm the doctor. I'm the doctor. They dragged her out. Kane was left alone in the room. He walked to the mirror. He looked at his reflection. The reflection blinked, but Kane didn't. Kane touched the glass. The reflection spoke. It was Elias. You really think you're the doctor, don't you? The reflection asked. I know what I am, Kane said. There is no doctor. There is no patient. There is only the room. Kane looked around. The wall seemed to breathe. The rain outside stopped. The sound of rain was revealed to be a white noise machine in the corner. We're all patients, Kane. You, me, Lena. We're just in different cells. Kane pulled his gun. He shot the mirror. The glass shattered. Behind the mirror was another room. In that room, another man sat at a desk. He was watching Kane through the glass. The man looked exactly like Kane. And Elias. And Lena. The man picked up a phone. Subject 3 has broken the fourth wall, the man said. Initiate reset. The lights went out.